Okay, so till now the situation was like whenever people wanted to build like a top-end gaming PC, we reviewers used to suggest like go with Intel, you'll get like best gaming results. And in case if you're building a PC for like say productivity or content creation or these sort of works, go with AMD. That'll offer you like the best performance. But now completely the roles have reversed, guys. Like AMD with the introduction of their new Ryzen 5000 series CPU, especially with their new Ryzen 9 5900X series CPUs, guys, AMD has stole the title of world's fastest gaming CPU, guys. And that is what exactly we'll be talking about in this video. Hey guys, this is Vimal here and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be super interesting, guys, because you might have already known that I've got my hands on the Ryzen 5000 series CPU since the past few days. I've got the specially Ryzen 9 series CPUs, guys, the brand new 5900X and the 5950X, which is a monster CPU. And today we'll be putting these CPUs to a test and we'll be talking about the benchmarks, basically like my review on the 5900X. So guys, first of all, I have to tell you, initially I planned on building a PC using the Ryzen 9 5900X, but what happened is I actually ordered a special GPU for this and that hasn't arrived. So I kept the PC build aside. Today we'll only be discussing about the benchmarks. We'll be looking at different sort of multitasking and creative side of benchmarks as well as gaming benchmarks as well, and we'll be discussing about all the performance and all that in this video. So guys, along with the Ryzen 5900X, I've told you, right, I've got the Ryzen 5950X also. That is literally a monster 16 core 32 thread beast. We'll be keeping this for the next video, guys. Today we'll be talking about only the 5900X. So 5900X is a 12 core 24 thread CPU with a max boost clock frequencies of up to 4.8 gigahertz. This is a crazy CPU, guys. That is like a direct competitor to Intel's 10th gen i9 10900K, and both of them are also like very similarly priced. In fact, this time AMD is only a bit higher priced. Intel i9 costs around like 48,000 rupees in India, whereas Ryzen 9, the 5900X is priced for around like 54 or 55,000 rupees in India, guys. But you do get extra cores and extra performance benefit on that. So yeah, we'll be talking about the CPU, and along with that, guys, I forgot to mention I didn't show you the RTX 3070 benchmarks also, right? Like how the 3070 is performing. That is the main reason I'll be pairing up the 5900X with the RTX 3070, so you'll get to check out the benchmarks of both these products in this single video. It's like killing two birds with a single stone. See guys, now again in this video I won't be going through the basics of what AMD introduced and improved in the new Ryzen 5000 series CPUs. We won't be talking about the architectural improvements about the Zen 3 architecture, because I've already made an in-depth, detailed video on this a couple of weeks ago during the launch event itself. If you haven't watched that, you'll have to go there and watch that video, so you'll get a complete picture and what's new about this new CPUs. I'll leave a link to that in the card above. So once you watch that, you'll get to know about the benchmarks in this video, guys. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. But oh wait, I have to tell you about the setup I'm using, right? As you can see, my test PC build setup is already done and good to go. Let me quickly tell you the specs. As I've told you just now, we are using the brand new Ryzen 9 5900X CPU, which is a 12 core 24 thread monster. I'm pairing that with the RTX 3070 from Zotac. This is a twin edge dual fan edition GPU, guys. It's a very small and compact GPU, and the benefit of that is you can fit this GPU in almost any case, guys. Whereas the other 3070 or 3000 series GPUs are like massive and bulky, right? So you need big cabinets for that. So keeping that aside, the motherboard I'm using is from Gigabyte. This is a X570 Aorus Extreme motherboard, guys. One more thing you'll have to keep in mind over here is you can't use this AMD 5000 series, Ryzen 5000 series CPUs out of the box with the existing motherboards. You'll have to update the BIOS on your motherboard, guys. Maybe X570 you might be having, or B450, B550, anything. You'll have to update the BIOS. So I had to update the BIOS on my motherboard a couple of times, and then we were good to go with the 5000 series CPU. And the RAM I'm using is from T-Force. This is a 16 GB kit clocked at 3600 MHz, and the model is RGB Nighthawk. Power supply I'm using is a 750 watt power supply, guys. It's like more than enough for this build. Alright then, without wasting any more time, let's check out the benchmarks. So first we'll check out some benchmark results that I've ran and then we'll dive into the gaming section. On Cinebench R23, the Ryzen 9 5900X got a single core score of around 1559 points and a multi-core score of 20,200 points. That is a crazy good score. There's almost like 15% improvement over their previous 3rd gen Ryzen 9 3900X CPU, and compared to the Intel's 10th gen i9, the 10900K, there is a huge difference in the numbers. The Ryzen 9 5900X got 28% higher scores than my i9 benchmarks. See, the i9 10900K, as I've mentioned before, is like a direct rival to the Ryzen 9 5900X and looks like AMD is crushing Intel this time in both the single and the multi-core based tasks with their brand new 5000 series CPUs. Single core score is quite important for gaming, guys. Higher the score, you can expect better gaming performance. So the numbers are saying Ryzen is going to perform better than Intel. Well, we'll be seeing that in the video. And coming to the Geekbench scores, here you go, a single core score of 7100 and a multi-core score of 46,917. That is madness. If Ryzen 9 5900X is itself that good, I can't wait to imagine and test out the new Ryzen 9 5950X, guys. So now is the time to directly jump into the gaming benchmarks. We'll be playing a couple of AAA title games at both 1080p as well as 1440p resolution and then check out the results. For your info, as mentioned before, we're using the Zotac RTX 3070 paired with the Ryzen 9 5900X. I've overclocked the CPU using Ryzen Master to get a single core max clock frequency of around 5 GHz and an all-core clock frequency of 4.47 GHz. But because of this OC, the CPU is slightly getting a bit hotter than my expectations. I used a 240mm AIO for this test, so instead of a 240, I'd recommend you to go with a 360mm AIO to keep the temperatures well controlled. You can monitor all the PC stats on the screen itself. The first game we are benchmarking is the brand new Assassin's Creed Valhalla at 1080p resolution, ultra graphics settings, and this is the kind of performance you can expect from the RTX 3070 when paired with the Ryzen 9 5900X. On an average, we got around 76 FPS, and switching the resolution to 1440p, still maintaining the graphics at ultra quality, we were getting an average frame rate of around 60 frames per second. So as Nvidia mentioned during their announcement, the 3070 is definitely capable of offering 1440p 60fps gaming even on the newest game titles. Next up on the list is Doom Eternal. We'll be playing this game also at 1080p resolution as well as 1440p ultra graphics and check out the results. Holy smokes, are you guys looking at those frame rates? Whoa, 200 FPS on an average? Gaming results look very interesting. I want to make a dedicated comparison video between Intel i9 and Ryzen 9 5900X. Let me know if you guys want to see a head-to-head comparison between both of these, and I'll definitely do that. Right now we'll only be discussing about the Ryzen 9 and the Zotac RTX 3070. Buttery smooth 1080p gaming experience in Doom Eternal game. Now let's switch the resolution to 1440p and check out the results. The graphics are still at ultra settings only. Wow, now that is the kind of performance you can expect from RTX 3070. An average of around 160 to 165 FPS at 1440p Ultra graphics. The Zotac's Twin Edge RTX 3070 is a super compact dual fan GPU with 8 gigs of VRAM and a boost clock frequency of 1725 MHz. But it can dynamically overclock and adjust the clock frequency and voltage based on the load and the temperature in that particular scenario. I could squeeze out a max boost clock frequencies of around 1980 MHz, which was offering pretty amazing results. The fun fact about the card is, this is the smallest RTX 3070 I've seen till now. Like literally very small and compact, so you can fit it almost any sort of PC case. I really like these sort of small GPUs also, guys. But because of this compact design, initially I was a bit skeptical about the thermals and the cooling, but after testing it, it was actually doing a decent job. On an average, after doing intensive gaming for around like 1 to 2 hours, the GPU was settling around 72 degrees at stock fan profile, and the fan noise was also very minimum. You can easily tweak the fan curves also and increase the fan speed to bring down the temperatures to around 65 degrees centigrade, but keep that in mind, this will definitely increase the fan noise. It's an excellent card for 1080p esport gamers who love high FPS gaming, and is great even for 1440p ultra gaming. But again, don't expect the same kind of results in 4K resolution. You'll only get around like 45 FPS on an average in 4K resolution at ultra graphics while playing games like Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs. And yes, it is surely performing better than the RTX 2080 Ti at half the price of that card, but just by a marginal difference of around 2 to 3%. I've also played our all-time favorite game GTA 5. At 1080p max graphics, we were getting around 120 FPS on an average, and switching it to 1440p resolution gave us around 95 frames per second on an average. So that was about the card. So keeping the RTX 3070 aside, I have to say I'm very impressed with the Ryzen 9 5900X performance. Like, who would have thought AMD would steal the world's fastest gaming CPU title with this CPU? Intel should really up their game with their upcoming 11th gen CPUs to come back to the competition. Let's see what happens in the coming future. So guys, as I've mentioned before, if you want a direct comparison between the Ryzen 9 and Intel i9 10900K, I will definitely do that. I didn't do the comparison in this particular video because, see, as I've told you before, I wanted to use that special GPU which I've ordered. I'll be getting that soon, so once I get that, I'll definitely do the comparison as soon as possible. Apart from these games, let me know what else games do you want me to add in that comparison video, and I'll definitely do that. I hope you all enjoyed the video and got to check out the benchmarks of both RTX 3070 and Ryzen 9 5900X. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more awesome videos. And I'll see you all in my next one.